Engineer Lee Biwa.
Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, I thank the Minister for this strategic budget plan, which is a practical and far-sighted approach at preparing Singapore to continue to do well in future. Young Singaporeans in particular will be excited about building their careers, businesses, fulfilling their dreams in the innovative and vibrant economy which the Minister is planning for. A greener and cleaner living environment will certainly be a significant boost to our living standards. In the face of increasing cost of living and a challenging economy, I'm heartened that the government plans to set aside more resources for those in need. This is a budget that is forward-looking and filled with optimism. Let me start by discussing some of the plans in relation to the economy. I share the Minister's opinion that regional and international partnerships will certainly help to open doors to new opportunities. I'm pleased to see that he's implementing some schemes to achieve this. Collaborations on infrastructure development is good news for our construction industry. That is, if there are plans to have local engineering and other consultants, as well as construction firms, to be actively involved. I note that an infrastructure office will be established to bring together local and international firms from across the value chain. I would like to ask the Minister, who will this office serve? Government-linked companies? Temasek-linked companies like Supana Jurong? Or our private sector? How will local consultants and contractors benefit? Next, even before the budget, the government has shared plans to transform industries through the development of industry transformation maps. These are aimed at addressing issues within each industry and fostering deeper partnerships between the government, firms, industries, trade associations, and chambers. This is good in principle, but implementation would not be so straightforward, given that every industry, every business, every individual has different levels of expectations and commitment. Communication and engagement between the different bodies will always pose challenges. It is unrealistic to put together a plan on paper and expect everybody to go through with it and resolve the problems by themselves. Thus, I propose there should be a full-time secretariat for each industry's ITM to visit the trade associations and speak with the ground to help resolve differences and administrative issues and ensure that each partnership is as effective and efficient as possible. SkillsFuture will remain a crucial component to help Singaporeans adjust and adapt to the future economy. Thus far, those who have utilized their SkillsFuture credits has found the scheme to be encouraging, and more importantly, they have gained useful skills that will help them in their careers, or even just to enrich their lives and learn something new. I hope the government will consider investing more resources in SkillsFuture, such as giving more credits to those who have already used theirs. I would now like to move on to social issues. First of all, housing, an integral part of our lives, and an asset that supposedly gives us financial security in old age. I'm disappointed that there's no new commitment to a home improvement program for HDB flats built after 1986. Some of these flats are now at least 30 years old and prone to defects and safety issues. Can the Minister share future plans for HIP for aging flats? Nee Soon South is in a very unique situation. Half of my flats are built 1986, and the other half in 1987. So half are enjoying the HIP, and the other half 还痴痴地在等。I'm also concerned about those who have a house but are cash tight and have little options to right size. This is becoming increasingly common in the older private estates, where the land lease is expiring and it is difficult to sell their house. There are also people who live in older HDB flats with a lease of less than 60 years, and they find it very challenging to sell their flats. This is not about monetizing the house, but getting some money from the sales to cover the cost for the next house. As more housing estates start to age, this problem will become more rampant. While there is silver housing scheme for residents who are 55 years old and above, this scheme requires most of the proceeds to be topped up into the CPF and may not meet the needs of all elderly. How does the government intend to address these issues? Next, I would like to ask how the decision to raise the buyer's stamp duty for residential properties above $1 million was derived at. What were the factors that were taken into consideration? The perception from the public is this is just an exercise to take a cut from all the en bloc homeowners. It is likely that these en bloc owners have to buy another apartment to move to, and they will end up being penalized if they buy above $1 million. Rising living costs and inflation are persistent concerns for every country. During my interaction with residents, by and large, residents understand the need for government to raise the GST. However, they worry about businesses profiteering by raising prices excessively and in some cases in advance. Back when it was announced that prices of water would be increased, residents said some businesses took the opportunity to raise prices even before the raise kicked in. I hope the government can look into a task force to ensure commercial entities do not use the GST increase as an excuse to exploit consumers. The government is enhancing various financial support and grants, which will help mitigate the GST increase in some ways. I would like to propose that when deciding on the income eligibility of applicants, we do not be so fixated on the applicant's household income. An applicant may have obtained a new job or wage increase which results in disqualification from a scheme, but he or she may have only obtained that income increase recently and still has many outstanding bills to pay off. I think we should also look at other criteria such as minimum working period. Ultimately, we do not want to end up penalizing people for getting a job or a better paying one. Our end goal is to ensure that children in these low-income families have a conducive environment where they can focus on their studies and self-development without being affected by their parents' worries. Beneficiaries should thus be encouraged to find better means to support their family and not feel worried that they'll be cut off from much-needed financial support once they do so. Speaker Sir, Malay please. Pemerintah baru saja mengumumkan kenaikan GST yang akan dilaksanakan antara 2021 hingga 2025. Namun saya khawatir para peniaga akan mengambil kesempatan untuk menaikkan harga terlebih dahulu dan meraih keuntungan. Ini yang berlaku pada tahun lepas apabila diumumkan kenaikan harga air. Saya berharap pemerintah dapat mengawas untuk memastikan entiti komersial tidak menggunakan kenaikan GST sebagai alasan untuk mengeksploitasi pengguna. Pemerintah akan terus meningkatkan berbagai sokongan keuangan dan bantuan yang dapat membantu mengurangkan kenaikan GST. Di sini, saya ingin mencadang bahawa para agensi pemerintah dapat bersifat insaf dalam menilai permohonan bantuan. Jangan jadikan pendapatan keluarga sebagai kayu ukur semata-mata. Kita terlalu tertumpu kepada pendapatan keluarga menyebabkan beliau tidak layak. Misalnya, seseorang mungkin baru mendapat pekerjaan ataupun kenaikan gaji menyebabkan beliau dia tidak layak. Tetapi, jika kita selidik beliau harus meluluskan bil-bil yang tertunggak semasa beliau diberhentikan kerja. Saya sarankan selain pendapatan keluarga, kita boleh melihat jangka masa beliau sudah bekerja. Pada akhirnya, kita tidak mahu mendenda seseorang kerana mendapatkan pekerjaan yang lebih baik. Deputy Speaker Sir, Chinese please. 这次的预算案关注老龄化现象，我想借此提出几个相关问题。第一，是住在老屋子的乐龄人士，老屋子屋契较短，很难卖到好价钱，无论是主屋或是私人房产都一样。因此，屋主就算要搬到较小的房子套现，也很难做到。虽然有乐龄安居花红，但是这个计划要求大部分的收益放入公积金户头，因此不符合每个乐龄人士的需求。老房子里头，1987年到1990年建成的主屋有些特殊问题。由于家居改进计划只开放给建于1986年及以前的主屋，1987年以后的屋子虽然老旧，但无法廉价装修，这影响了屋主的生活素质。艺术南就处于这样特殊的情形，一半的屋子建在1986年，一半的屋子建于1987年，因此一半的屋子有家居改善计划，另外一半呢还在痴痴的等。另外，有些困扰老人家的健康问题，政府的医药津贴没有覆盖，例如视镜问题，不少老人家都患有，需要长期治疗，不然会引发其他健康问题。希望政府能关注并提供有关津贴。此外，政府宣布会调高消费税以后，也许会有无良商家趁机起价或提前起价。去年水价升高时也有这种现象。政府是否能成立专案小组关注这个问题？现在呢，我想跟大家讲一个故事。这是一位家庭主妇和她的丈夫的对话。老婆说：“老公，老公，我的妈妈年纪大了，时常都要看医生。我们的孩子也长大了，正在发育时期，我需要买多一些鱼和肉给他们吃。我需要多一些家用。”老公笑笑地说：“没问题，没问题。我有一个好消息还没告诉你。上个星期六七早八早，我在联络所看到我们的议员驾车来到联络所，还不到8点。我看了他车的号码4188，还挺漂亮的。我没正行，我没多变，我怕12拍。你知道吗？第二天我中了头奖，8481，1块钱赔2000块。我现在口袋里 有多了好几千块。那老婆呢，愣了，看着丈夫，然后跟她的丈夫说：“老公，我要的家用是经常性的开支，不是一次性过的。难道假如你不中奖，我的妈妈不需要去看医生吗？假如你不中奖，我们的孩子不需要吃了吗？”老公说：“没问题，我们还可以卖屋子啊。”这就是工人党刚才 Mr. Pritam Singh 的立场。人口老化，政府开支一直在上涨，没问题，国家卖土地就可以解决了。我的居民似乎有预感。上个星期六，我在咖啡店走动的时候，就有居民告诉我：“阿花姐，你要记得，金山都假料，不要动不动就想到要用阿公留下来的储蓄，不要让我们沦落成败家子。” Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, I support the budget.